Welcome once again to the Murfreesboro Real Estate Report. Man, we've got a really good show for you today. Lots of data out there. We will try not to overwhelm you, but lots of things going on. Not only do we have this week's report for the Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, which would be Smyrna, Laverne, Eagleville real estate market, we also have the February 2026 month-ending data. And fresh off the charts, the federal government's come out with their appreciation info as far as what's going on in our market. Have homes appreciated? Have they depreciated? And we've got the fourth quarter information there. So very exciting stuff. We will try not to overwhelm you, but we will try to pull out a few pieces that will help you, whether you're looking to buy a home in Murfreesboro, whether you're looking to sell a home in Smyrna, or if you're a real estate agent. We have a lot of our real estate friends here who watch, and we appreciate it. I will tell you, I had someone tell me the other day, they say, we watch your entire video all the way through. It gives me a good laugh, and I'm like, well, bless your heart. You must be a glutton for punishment. So, no, I think you will want to watch this all the way through because we have some really good data all the way to the end here. But I am John Turner, by the way. I am with the Turner Victory team of Onward Real Estate. We bring this Murfreesboro Real Estate Report to you every week. It comes out on Sunday evenings, and we appreciate you tuning in. Might be sunshiny where you are right now. The days have gotten longer. Spring is here, so that always puts a little extra pep in my step. And it seems like the real estate market kind of feels the same way. So let's dive into some of that information. Oh, before we do that, please do me a favor. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. That helps us out. And also comment. If there's any information you want to see, let us know that. If you're, let us know where you're looking from. So if you're in Murfreesboro, or if you're in Smyrna or Laverne, or you might be someone out of town, maybe looking to move here from another state and just trying to get some good real estate information. So if you are relocating to this area, please make sure to put that in the comments as well. All right. Well, without further ado, let me get my screen set up here, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the market details for the week. This is for Rutherford County. And by the way, right now we're pulling this for 14 different counties. We do focus on the Rutherford County because that's where our office is. But we have this information for Davidson, Williamson, Wilson, Cannon, Coffee. What else we got? Murray or Maury, however you want to say it. Marshall, Macon, DeKalb. Anyway, a lot of different counties we've got this information on. So if you're looking for something specific, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to share those charts with you. This week, the Turner Victory Team market health score is a 55 out of 100, which means that we're pretty balanced. We actually are sliding slightly into the favors of sellers. And we'll talk about that here in a minute and why we're seeing that or what we're seeing. But right now, our month supply is 3.3 months supply. Our inventory trend, we have picked up about 6% inventory over the past 4 weeks. The true average days on the market, and you'll hear us use days on the market and true days on the market. The true days on the market is a calculation that we use here at the Turner Victory team whenever we look at all the data, and it really helps us see when a house initially came on the market and when it went under contract, which sounds pretty basic, but the MLS just picks it up for that MLS number. Our data actually goes in and looks and see if that house was listed before. If it was, it counts the days on the market from the first listing all the way through the second one or the third one, however long it goes, all the way till the time it goes under contract. So whenever we can, we use the true days on the market. There's some things where you will hear us talk about just days on the market. We've got some macro indicators out there. The 30-year rate is at 6%. We will talk about that here in a second. Consumer sentiment has actually gone up a little bit. It's a little cautious. I'm not really sure when they took this. I know we've got a lot of things going on in the Middle East right now, and that affects things here at home as well. We'll get into that just slightly right now. The affordability, we're still labeling as good. And what we mean by good is we're talking about the trend. Okay, we're not talking about exactly where it is because compared to 5 or 6 years ago, affordability is a little tough, but we are trending in the right direction. So that's really good. Showings on our listings right now across the board, on average, a home is getting shown about 2.1 times per week. Again, that's on average. Our pending momentum, definitely strong right there. Again, we're going to get into some of this in a little bit more detail, including all our stats about the weekly activity. The 10-year Treasury, 4.13. The spread's gotten a little tight, though. It used to be above 2%. Now it's definitely below that, been staying below that for a while. So let's look at the market itself. So whenever we look at the weekly stats, we have 1,359 homes on the market. 181 of those homes are new homes. And what I'll be my new listings, not new homes, but new listings. Pending this week, 165. That's an important number. Keep that in mind, 165 pendings in Rutherford County. Had 82 homes closed this week, which is actually pretty good for the first full week of March. We had 113 homes delisted. So across the board, 3.34 month supply of inventory. But if you look up here, the month supply, you could tell by the different price range where we're sitting with that. Something interesting over here that we are seeing, if you look at this last column, that those homes that pended, 11 homes pended, there were 82 active. So that's 13.4% of the market. That's high. Same thing in the 300,000s, 18% of the homes in the 300,000s pended this week. All these double digits are high. I mean, we have not seen double digits in quite a while. So let me switch over to our weekly charts, and let's break this down a little bit more. First of all, you can see where our inventory has gone up a little bit, but it's still, it's fairly steady. This time last year, our inventory was really rising quickly. We're not seeing that as much this year. I think the next couple of weeks will really play out, really show us kind of where we're headed for the rest of the year. Month supply, that was going up a little bit, but look at how it's leveled out the past couple of weeks. And we kind of thought it might because of some of the things we were seeing with some of our pending home sales. Last year we topped out. I've got 3.5 here. I had another chart when we were looking at it on a 3-month level. It was at 3.8. So right now at 3.34, that's really a balanced market. That's kind of what you expect to see in a quote unquote normal market. Let me get that off there. All right, new listings. Let's look at this. The orange is this week, or this year. So orange, we had 181 new listings, and you hear that and you think, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of new listings. Well, if you look back to 2024, the same week we had 194, and in 2025 we had 219 new listings. So we once again have trended below the past couple of years. And if you look, we've been below 2025 for a while here. We had that 1 month or that 1 week that went up. But besides that, for the past 5 or 6 weeks, we've been below 2025 numbers, which means we're not bringing on as many new homes or as many new listings as we had last year. Now let's look at pendings. Again, paying attention to the orange line. Look at this spike. Wow, 165 new listings. 2023, we had 131. And then we go on back here, we were around 115 for the 2 previous years. So if we pull off 2023 here, we've been saying that we are trending above any other numbers over the past couple of years, the 2024, 2025 numbers. Every week this year, except for this week where we had the big ice storm, every week we have pended more homes this year than we did any time in the past 2 years. With that said, we have seen the past 3 weeks, we've seen a huge increase over the past 2 years. So this is very interesting. We're really watching this. And whenever I put 2023 back on here, we only had 1 week in 2023 where we pended more homes than what we pended this past week. So that's really something to watch. That tells us that pent-up demand has been there. The concern, and we've been saying this, is that if you are looking to buy a home, even though our inventory numbers have risen, our pending numbers are actually outpacing that. So especially whenever you pull in the ones that have been delisted as well, because what was there, 113 that were pulled off the market this week. Something to think about. Again, you want to buy a house whenever it's the perfect time for you. But with that said, mortgage rates are working in our favor. There's a lot of good things that are happening for us, but we may be seeing inventory tighten a little bit. We keep watching that trend, but it is something that we want to pay attention to. Let's get into what happened in February. We're going to look at it a couple of different ways. One is our monthly closings, and I've got it two different ways. I got it on my chart, and then I've got it pulled up by what RealTrax has, which is the MLS. But for February, we closed 376 units. Well, is that good? Is that bad? Last February, 334 units. So we closed 12.5 more. Our percentage was 12.5% higher in 2026 than 2025. If you look in January, 286 versus 301. So that was up 5%. So we definitely are trending towards a much more active year than we had in 2025 and 2024. Again, we've predicted it will fall this year somewhere between 2023 and 2024 as far as our numbers go. I will tell you, though, it seems like we're trending a little bit closer towards 2023 than what we are 2024, and 2023 was a lot more active market. Average price per square foot per month, 220 is where we are right now. In February, it was 224 based upon this chart. There's a couple of different ways you can look at it. If you go back to February of last year, we were at 227. So our average price per square foot is down a little bit. Our percentage of sales price. So when we take the sales price and what did it sell for, if you look at the true number, and this takes into account the relist and what they originally were listed at, for the most part, we are seeing about homes selling for in the 97% of what they were listed for originally. It really depends on price range, but 97% is a rough average. That does not take into account any incentives that the seller may be paying. That's just a true original list price versus sales price analysis. One other thing, we'll look at the relist. We talk about this a lot. Relist is if a house was on the market and it was pulled off. $700,000 price range, 38% of all homes that are on the market right now were listed, did not sell for some reason, so they pulled it off the market and they put it back on. So that's the highest percentage. Over here in the 300,000s, a quarter, 24% of the homes have actually been listed before as well. Our most active zip codes right now, 37128, 37129, and over in Smyrna at 37167. So let's go back and talk about mortgage rates just real quickly. It was last week we talked about how they had dropped, and actually the 30-year average had hit below 5.9 or 6%. It was at 5.98%. That's the first time it had been below 6 in quite some time. We did see it go up a little bit, quite frankly, not as much as I expected. And you've got to remember, with everything going on in the Middle East, that affects things here back home. If you haven't noticed, the gas prices have gone up quite a bit right now because there's a concern about that. Jobs report came out this past week, and we actually lost 92,000 jobs, which was a shocker. So that's going to affect the rates a little bit as well. The inflation concerns with the gas prices. So I can't ever predict where mortgage rates are going to go. They were trending in our favor. I would not be surprised to see them trend up a little bit, but I am not looking, personally, I don't think things in the Middle East are going to be long-term. So if they're not, then I think that eventually we will see these mortgage rates get back down to where they were, and maybe even go down a slight bit more. It remains to be seen, but still, whenever you look at 6% basically versus this time last year, we were at 6.63. That's hundreds of dollars that will save you a month, just the difference in the price range there. Real quickly, let's close out February. Let's see what February looked like for us. So new listings, they were down 7% year over year. Again, we're talking about that. The inventory's tightened up a little bit, even though we do have more new listings than more homes on the market than what we've had in a while. It's still not increasing at the pace that it did last year. New under contract, that means homes that have gone under contract this week or this month in February. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That was up 15%. So here we are talking about sales in January and February being up. Well, right now, we're looking at probably an increase in March as well. Probably not 15% because sometimes things fall out. We're seeing some more new construction come back. So those homes that went under contract, some of them may need to be built. But we still may be looking at another, 10 or 12% closings in March above what we had this past year. That's a off the cuff guess, but probably going to be pretty close on that. Sales price average, last year it was $470. This year $482. That's the average. But if you look at the median really has not changed. Okay, the median was $420 both years. So that tells you a little something there. And the month supply, the way they've got it calculated, is 4.36. Last year 4.3. This year, so it's actually dropped a little bit. Let's go back to that average. Or to that median sales price, because the federal government just came out with the FHFA charts. They're the appreciation charts. Did home prices go up? Did they go down? Now, this is for the fourth quarter. So it is a little old data because it's from October to December 2025. We're in March of 2026, but it's still very interesting to look at. I've been predicting all along that I think we would remain flat or maybe even decrease slightly. Stats did come out for the fourth quarter. If you look right down here in the bottom right, for the fourth quarter, we were up 0.34%. Okay. So basically flat there. And if you add in the past 4 quarters, you come up with this number that you see up here at the top, that home prices for the past year, and this would be basically all of 2025, they were up 0.1%. I mean, that's flat. So the good news about that is that if you are, let me switch over here. If you are a buyer, okay, you're looking to buy a house, home prices have stayed flat over the past year. As a matter of fact, if you think about what sellers are doing, and if you watch this market, you would realize that sellers are giving a lot of concessions. So not only are the sales prices flat, I would submit to you that total price, you're probably better off now than you were a year ago because you've got more motivated sellers and they are paying more closing costs. They're doing whatever it takes to get their home sold. This is, I mean, you factor that in with what mortgage rates have done, and they're down, nearly 0.75% from this time last year. That's where we were talking earlier about affordability and trending. We're calling it good because it is getting a little bit easier to afford that house because of the mortgage rate, because the prices have not accelerated. Normally they go up about 5, on average now past 25 years, they've gone up 5.7% a year here in Rutherford County. So for it to be flat is unusual, but it's something that we needed. We need to make homes a little bit more affordable. The other thing is, if you look at the wages, we talked about this a little bit last week, wages have increased slightly. Not a lot. Your wages may have gone up a lot. They may not have. I don't know. So every situation's a little different. But if you've seen a slight bump in your pay and the mortgage rates have dropped, but the house prices have stayed the same, that same house has become more affordable for you if you're looking to purchase it. So that's the great news for buyers. For sellers, there is a big prediction that we were just going to see this crash, especially since in 2021, prices went up 21%. That's unheard of. So, everybody's been expecting this big boom, man, they're going to drop 5 or 10%. We have not seen that either. Prices have held steady. Sure, they're not really increasing right now, but they're not dropping either. So especially if you've owned your house since the COVID years, you had seen an increase in equity in that home. So you should be in a pretty good position as well, as far as if you need or if you want to sell. So all that working together really brings together and shows us why we're seeing this huge increase in the pending home sales and in the closed home sales here in Rutherford County. It's a very interesting dynamic. Y'all know we like looking at this every day, every day, but every week we bring it to you because we like to try to stay on top of this. It's important as your real estate agent, as your trusted advisor, that we know what's going on. And we do pride ourselves on looking at all this data because we feel like that if we're informed, it helps us inform you. And that's the reason why we bring this here. But if you're informed, you're going to be able to make a clearer decision. You're going to be able to make a more informed decision. You're going to be able to make a more powerful decision. So that's the reason why we bring this data to you. Again, I know it can be boring sometimes, but some of the key facts, if you were to ask me what are the key facts right now, mortgage rates have stayed low. The inventory is not growing very quickly, but pending home sales are rising fairly quickly. And, the market's moving. We've been talking about momentum all year, and the market continues to gain that momentum. It's like that snowball going down the hill. It's picking up. So it's going to be interesting to see where this year goes, but it's pretty exciting sitting here right now and watching it what it's doing. So if there is any questions you have, or if you have a real estate need, please reach out to myself. As I said earlier, I'm John Turner, the team lead of the Turner Victory team. Myself and all our agents are here to help you. Over half our team has been with us for 10 years or more. I mean, we are very experienced agents on our team, so they can guide you through this. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you. We appreciate you tuning in. I hope you tuned in to the end. If you did, please comment. Made it to the end. I would appreciate that. It'll give me a good chuckle there. But appreciate you tuning in. We will be back next week, Lord willing, to bring this information to you as well. But until then, we hope that you make it a great week. We'll see you next week.